Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. I'm open for... I don't want to say it, okay? Don't make me say it. Oh my god. 16 rate of fire, 3 damage. Every other stat is looking okay. Plus, you gotta love Shoop the Whoop. Especially early on. It gives us a lot of hurt and power. So I'm gonna say something I regret here, okay? You can't stop me. Oh no, is NL finally going political? Yep. Get ready. I want a run that doesn't have the D infinity. I'm sorry to anybody who I've betrayed by saying that. You know, I used to love the Zane. I still do. Oh, but I used to too. It's just hard to anchor yourself. Like on our last run, the D infinity was great. We ended up with like 2 or 3 good runs, all sort of sidled together. However, I also found myself mentally adrift, and as I'm still, you know, sort of getting over my prolonged illness here, fever causing delusions, you know, hard enough to keep a normal train of thought. I want it. I want it. We're not going to be able to get it in all likelihood, but I want it. How could we get it? Well, we're not going... Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. We're obviously not going to get the pony here. But we could get the deck of... No, we can't get deck of cards. We could get Magic 8 Ball, and it could give us the Hanged Man. And that could give us Ludo. And Ludo Parasite just seems interesting. And I do mean interesting, because I actually don't understand how it works. I'm assuming it would just be like a fountain of shots that would kind of pour out of the center shot, but not fully sure. Well, we got HP, which, to be honest with you, is probably substantially more relevant as we're on 1 Spirit Heart. Let's stop focusing on stuff that is not as relevant. Just held my breath there as that room came to fruition. I'm willing to go for it. 1 makes you small. Here's a real question for you. If you had to choose between being 4 times your current size or 1/4 your current size, what would you choose? So instead of... I'm 5'10", aka 6'4". I would become, you know, over 20 feet tall. That's too much. Now, would I have a good career in the National Basketball Association? Probably not, but I might be able to, just on height alone, make it in, you know, the Chinese basketball league, or like the Italian basketball league or something like that. I mean, pretty much just throw the ball straight up in the air, I'll grab it and dunk it, nobody's going to be able to stop me. I imagine I would probably break my leg about once every 3 months. Alternatively, I could be 1 foot. And the math is kind of hard to do because of the metric system. I would be like, I'm 175 centimeters tall, so I'd be like, you know, 44 centimeters tall. Slightly taller than your average scholastic ruler. I don't know. Would I rather be 20 feet tall or 1.5 feet tall? Less than 1.5 feet, I guess. You know, I said it was a good and real question, but I've kind of gone back on it. I think both of the answers are kind of bad. Thank you for the HP, and we'll move on here. Hey, hey! Back off. We do not need Ghost Baby. All of this, so far on this run, has contributed to us having a slightly above average position. We got through it very fast. We're only at 3 minutes, 34 seconds here. We got a 9 rate of fire, roughly 5 damage. It's good. This is a very, like, conventional, solid start. If you're gonna force my hand, I think I would rather be 20 feet tall. But I don't... Actually, you know what? I'm immediately going back on that. I think I would rather be 1.5 feet tall. The world is not made for 20 feet tall human beings. Where would I live? I would have to live in a circus tent. Everybody always pulls out the basketball argument, but, like... What if you don't like basketball? I guess you just suck it up for 20 years and make like $100 million, but still. I think I would rather be 1.5 feet tall. Let's go over the pros and cons, okay? Pros. Don't need to have a special house to live in. Although, to be fair, I would probably need custom furnishings as an adult because, you know, like, the average kitchen is not made for a 1.5 foot tall person to actually, you know, interact with it. And I probably need, like, a step ladder to get on the toilet and so on and so forth. Definitely a specially modified automobile, no question about it. But, you know, any doorway will be accessible to me by definition. Whereas if you're 20 feet tall, you're done. You can only go, like, 2 places on planet Earth. Outside and the circus. Secondarily, you ever encounter that situation where you want to eat something off the kids menu, but you're not a child? You got some plausible deniability when you're 1.5 foot tall. Alternatively, that's one of the big benefits of being 20 feet tall is your resting metabolic rate would be, like, enormous. You could eat 7,000 or 8,000 calories a day guilt-free probably without running a serious risk. It would probably, I'm sorry to say, impact your love life, whether you were 20 feet tall or 1.5 foot tall. You might be saying, NL, that's very mean to very tall and very short people. I need you to understand, like, convert it to meters. A person that is 20 feet tall is extremely tall. Like, taller than any human being that's ever existed on planet Earth by almost triple. And then a person that's 1.5 foot tall. That's like a Matt Damon downsizing situation. This is not me making fun of short people. Of which, I don't know, depending on your perspective, I may or may not be. On the internet, everybody is 5'15". For reasons that are irrelevant, I suppose. Dude, I accidentally fat-fingered that Dagaz, but I'm so happy. Because the extra spirit heart might do us a great service in keeping us alive. What do we... Ooh, that's a serious bummer. What do we gulped? Pushpin. Okay, that's not so bad. What do we need on this run? Well, Chaos is not necessarily going to help, but what I was thinking is PhD being in here could give us a tiers upgrade, which would be real swell. But ignoring that, Dark Bum probably comes the closest to being like the instant win. I don't know, I'd like to hear your feedback. These are the things, I never want to be like, oh, dude, Contract from Below is really good too. I never want to be the YouTuber who's like, let me know what your thoughts on Brexit are in the comments below. Instead, I want to tackle important issues. Like, would you rather be 20 feet tall or 1.5 foot tall? I think these are important issues that, you know, people deserve to know about. I'm going to go ahead and say I think I would rather... Yera? Hagalas? Yera? Black Rune. Dude, I love... the Black Rune. I think we take Black Rune and we say that Yera is better later. Hopefully we'll get another one of those later. We could use Yera to get a second Black Rune, and then, I don't know, we would use the Black Rune to get something out of the consumables, but it's not worth much, unfortunately. I want to see, like, a straw pull. Range up. Not invested. So where are we at on this run? This is actually a very dynamic run. It's a run befitting Isaac Analysis, in sharp contrast to our last run. We are far from guaranteed to win. In fact, I'd say we're kind of trending towards a loss right now, but we got a foundational ability to win. By which I mean, our stats are good, except for tiers. We have a good baseline for building synergies in the future via Cricket's body. Chaos and Contract from Below are good, like, ground level synergies for some kind of, you know, synergistic effect, basically, to take place. So, for example, you know, with Contract from Below, if we can then get the left hand, all of a sudden we got a much better chance of getting Guppy, I think, or getting a lot of Spirit Hearts, or teleporting to Deals with the Devil, where we can get some good items. You thought I was just spinning you some verbal diarrhea. No, sir. I should not have stood there. I had real ideas in my head for what makes this run palatable for a victorious situation. Absolutely. Now, you know, we gotta scrimp and save. We're going for it here. Puberty. That's fine. I dispute the idea that puberty should be a negative pill. I think it's a big positive for us. Well, Red Hearts, it's good to know that they exist, but it's also unfortunate that we can't take advantage of them yet. We would really prefer a single Spirit Heart to 2 Red Hearts at this point. Just because any champion could kill us. And there's 2 of them on this room, and they were, for a while, they were gradually getting closer and closer to me until I found myself highly afraid. Okay. Dare we? Oh, we dare. I will dare like a replacement song off of Let It Be. Okay, just be smart. We have bombs. Bombs. Whoa! Okay. Great cautionary tale right there. I was gonna say bombs are more damage than our tears, and they are. They're also more dangerous because of this Fate's Reward parasite interaction we got going on here that is gonna run the risk of kicking the bombs back out at us. So what do we not want to see? Krampus. What do we want to see? 9 lives. Dark Judas. Abaddon. Okay. Dark Bum. Sorry, Dry Baby is fine. Hey, it's Krampus. Well, if we get... Be cool. If we get Lump of Coal, we take it. If we get Krampus's head, we have a good opportunity for Black Rune. Great rate of fire increase, but I am still highly afraid of having only 1 HP. Stay away from me, please. Okay, Poke-Go is good. A Spirit Heart is extremely great. And all of a sudden, we can finally, for the first time in a little while, take a little bit of a sigh of relief. All of a sudden, we can actually take a hit without dying. So, the rate of fire increase is awesome. Dry Baby is awesome. Poke-Go is pretty good. This has been a positive floor. With Chaos, you know, you never know how things are going to go for you. I would love, love, love to pick up a speed... Oh, dude, absolutely. I would love to pick up a speed upgrade and an HP upgrade via this arcade. Theoretical possibility. Fested. Drowsy. I'm excited. I don't know how this works anymore. If only these guys actually did contact damage. Hey, 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 cool it, mister. That was a scary room. This is like an old school Isaac run now. This is an Isaac run where we gotta, like, absolutely stay hyper vigilant about what's happening here. We're on the Flooded Caves too, so we have time. Not everybody is beholden to the artificial constraint of trying to make it the boss rush as I am, but for me personally, I just like it as a good measure. Good measure of where we're at, where we're going, where we'd like to be in the future, for example. I was shooting at the enemy that was on our side. Hey Einstein, I'm on your side, haha. Video game nostalgia, Star Fox 64. Andros has ordered me to take you down. I played a lot of Star Fox 64. Oh. We don't want to use it yet, but I'm a little bit tempted. So we definitely should have taken I'm Drowsy in here. I don't know if it actually would have compensated for it, but there was a chance that it could have. I don't want you to be fast. You are fast. Okay, this is very bad. You know what I do miss about being a kid? There's something people talk about all the time is, excuse me. When you're young, you have a lot of time and no money. And as you get older, most people tend to age into kind of like a more stable income with some disposable entertainment budget. So they can buy video games, but they don't have the time to play them. And it's true, it's one of the great ironies of, you know, having this as one of your hobbies in life, is that when you have all the time in the world, you tend not to have much money. You know, or at least you got to go through your parents. And good luck explaining to a parent in like 1994 that you want more video games when they... Here's the thing about video games, okay? I'm going down several different roads here. Video games right now, 60 bucks. Not cheap, but video games when I was 8, 60 bucks. So with inflation, they've actually, you know, you got to factor in the fact that salaries have stagnated as well, but they are cheaper now, probably than they've ever been. I paid $110, and by I mean my parents, and by my parents I mean I, because it was like via the allowance that they gave me, but still, you know, I'm not saying I worked hard for the money, and McDonald's treats are right. All I'm saying is, it was my money. It was in my bank account. Whether I earned it or was given it for just being 8 years old. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is in 1996 or 1997, I paid $110 at that time for Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. So when people are like, that's a really good game, I go, yeah, but in the back of my head, I've also been like, but it's not worth the equivalent of, like, you know, every 12 years, purchasing power essentially, or the inflation essentially means that the prices have doubled. So, you know, $110 is like buying a Switch for the cost of Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. But anyway, I digress. What I was gonna say is, as a kid, I had so many bad video games that I played for hundreds and hundreds of hours. Particularly in, like, the N64 era. Probably, I mean, this is before, like, widespread Metacritic, you know, internet reviews became, like, a big deal. You could only rely on one magazine and then, like, the trailer for a game being on TV once, and you'd be like, yeah, I need to get South Park Rally, the South Park kart racing game. It was a different era, okay? Now, if I buy a game, it can be good, and I'll still be like, I don't really need to play it. It's like Far Cry 5. I got Far Cry 5, and I was like, this is pretty fun, but I'm not, like, inspired to finish it. What a luxury. Like, my 10-year-old self would slap me. Back then, it was like, okay, 3 months have gone by. What am I gonna buy? Hammer Watch Wrestling on Super Nintendo. Later, check the reviews. It gets like a 1 out of 5 from everywhere. How many hours do I have in it? About infinity. Without even understanding how the systems work. I was tempted to take that, by the way, but I'm shooting for something better. No. No. Nah. Too many bomb synergies. Not good enough, but tempting. Okay, so this is actually horrible. Pretty bad return on our investment there. What do I wish I'd taken? The tiers upgrade right off the top. Absolutely. But still, we got a great run happening. It's just behind the scenes right now. We don't have the tools we need to thrive, but we got what we need to survive, at least temporarily. I don't know why I'm holding one makes you small. I don't want to be 1.5 feet tall if possible. Okay. Gurglings. I hope we got 2 of them, but I think I only got 1. That was a really, really good commit there. That wasn't meant to be a DAE. You know, we stuck it out there. Didn't want to get hit by this guy. We wanted to kill his minions, though. Dry Baby doing fantastic work, as often is the case. Really relying on an unlikely deal with the devil to up our DPS here and take us into the 21st century. No such luck. I got another Isaac science project for you if you're interested. Why is it, again, null hypothesis, with Chaos you don't get more bomb synergies than usual? But what am I actually believing? With Chaos you get more bomb synergies than usual? We had, like, spider bombs, poison bombs, bomb bag, and BOGO bombs show up on the last 2 opportunities for item pedestals. So I'm just saying, think something's a little wonky with your code there. I don't know why. Seems to me like if you get 1 bomb item, you're so much more likely, I should say, to get more bomb items in the future, but not against it, it's just not really the right combination for our current run. And that's why, like, you know, people, I think it's a bit of a logical fallacy, by the way, in the game industry today, when people go like, I can't believe the devs are charging $60 for this. I'm like, dude, I feel you, because you're mad. And I don't want to get on your bad side, but simultaneously, what's annoying is when developers charge $60 for their game, or even $30 for their game, and then they have a bunch of crates in it that are microtransactions, and inside of the microtransactions, what do you get? Black shoes. Looking at you, Blue Hole. Just saying. Just saying. Excuse me, sir. Like, that, I think, is very bad. But games simultaneously are also cheaper than they've ever been. I think, at least. Now, it's a little different in Canada, I'll admit. I'm taking, like, an American approach to this, because in Canada, because of the currency falling up here, like, they're a little bit more expensive than they've been in the last 10 years, but still cheaper than they were when I was a kid. I'm not saying you should never get mad at anything in the gaming industry, merely that, you know, the cost of a full-price game, I think, is understandable. You know what is the #1 thing that rattles my chains in the gaming industry? I'll get mad for once, because I have a reputation for being the guy who's always, like, riding the fence. I hate video game economies where the entire purpose of microtransactions is essentially, like, a facade for gambling. I'll give you an example after I hydrate here. PUBG is a very good example. It's very easy to crap on PUBG. I spent a lot of time defending that game, because I think as a game, it's good. As a business, it's extremely bad, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what their accounting is like at Blue Hole, okay? I'm just saying, like, the way they run the company, from an outsider standpoint, seems pretty silly. Trying to sue Epic and so on and so forth. But anyway, I digress. PUBG was $30. On top of that, they have crates in the game. If you buy the key, it's $2.50, like Counter-Strike Global Offensive. What do you get inside of them? Oh, cool stuff, gun skins. Yeah, but like they mostly kind of look like garbage, in my opinion. And at least when I was playing the game, the only reason people bought them was because there were a couple items contained therein that allowed you to get a huge return on your investment. You know, you could pay $2.50 for a crate key, but that $2.50 could end up hooking you up with the, you know, the school skirt or whatever the heck it was called that was worth like $300. That is my actual #1 biggest pet peeve. So much more so, and I am gonna just go back to the shoot the whoop here. So much more so than, like, you know, the Star Wars Battlefront stuff, which I also found pretty heinous, where they were like, hey, you're buying this game because you want to see Star Wars fan service battles, Darth Vader versus Lando Calrissian. By the way, you need $45 on top of your purchase price, or 300 hours of gameplay in order to unlock Darth Vader. I thought that was sketchy as hell. But the PUBG one is even worse. It's basically like, hey, we got a $30 game, and it's fun, but on top of that $30 game is also a casino. And I will give CSGO the slightest pass, because I think that it happened accidentally. But I think a lot of games have basically tried to create that for themselves. You know, it's like, the PUBG one was the worst, because really it was like, at least in Global Offensive, the gun skins are like, here's a cool bird on your gun, and then there's always, you know, you can find the same thing in like the Magic the Gathering community, where like, there's always going to be some level of people that min-max their hobby, economically speaking. It's not really my scene. There's always going to be some guy at the Magic draft that is like, yeah, this draft is $1.50 cheaper than the other draft, so I just queue here and drop. Then I get my packs and go home, so it maximized my EV. But in PUBG, I was like, cynically, they created this, and it was like, well, there's not a lot of red shirts in the economy, so red shirts all of a sudden are worth a bunch. That's irritating to me, because, you know, who makes the money in that situation? Valve and Blue Hole. And then the dude who's lucky enough to get PlayerUnknown's trench coat. You may disagree with me, by the way. But I'll admit, you know, I'm having a little celebration. I know there was a thread on the Battleground subreddit of this guy that spent like 100 grand, and it is an investment, even though it irritates me. He spent like 100 grand investing in, like, buying up the entire supply. Yeah, I'll take it. Of, like, PlayerUnknown's red bandanas or something like that. And I've been watching the price. Like, once every 2 months, I go there and I look at the price, and I've seen it fall, like, 80% over the past year, and I'm like, that is exactly what you get. Won't somebody have some sympathy for the guy who tried to corner the market on PlayerUnknown's trench coat? Hey, let me out, please? Dude, I'm so scared right now. That's investing, dude. You know, you make some mistakes sometime, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking. I don't, like, actually wish this person any ill will. I just find all speculation to me is irritating, you know? Real estate speculation. It's contributed to the certain destruction of, you know, the city in which I live in, and I think that's filtered out through my life to make me hate speculation in all areas, where people are like, you know, what did I make my money from? Holding something that I thought would increase in value. Now, on the stock market, that's one thing, because I don't understand it. But in video games, good sir, you've hit too close to home. Scary moments. So I don't think we're in a great situation. Simultaneously, I think we got an okay chance to get out of it. No deal with the devil in all likelihood. Succubus is awesome. 2 HP is really, really bad, though. Which is obviously something that you don't need me to tell you. The real problem with this run, as of right now, is that we've been stuck on 4.67 damage since, like, our second, or even first deal with, I think it was our first deal with the devil. So we have improved in some ways. But there's only, you know, so much acceleration you can accomplish on a run like this when your damage doesn't actually, like, appreciate as much as you would like. And that's why it's been insanely useful for us to have Shoop to Whoop. And there may come a time, depending on how our HP looks in the future, where I regret not taking Book of Shadows. But for now, Shoop to Whoop, I think, is the superior option. What on earth did I just do? I think I killed a turret by shooting it. That's amazing. How did I not get hit there? I think I walked right through the belly of the beast. Where's my red hearts? There's supposed to be red hearts there. Just wait for Little Chub to pay out. You'll be set. You'll be set. Most of the time, we can afford to position ourselves more aggressively on this floor. It's just, again, 4.67 damage means if an enemy's rushing us down, we gotta have an escape plan pretty much right out of the gate. But with careful, considered play, I do believe we got a chance. I mean, we've made it through these floors insanely quickly. We will absolutely not fight Hush. This is not the right opportunity for a Hush fight. 18% deal with the devil chance. So what does that come out to? That's like a 1 in 5 chance, more or less. It's not that unlikely. Probably more likely than the odds of, you know, South Korea beating Germany in the World Cup. Am I right? Timely reference for a match that, as of the time of this recording, already happened 2 weeks ago, but no deal with the devil. This one's gonna be a test of skill. Which is good, because it means I can talk about Isaac instead of making myself look like an economic fool. With my anti-speculation tirade. NL speculation is the same as investing and is the spirit of modern capitalist growth. And, okay, I don't know, alright? I'm just saying, like, the whole spirit of my conversation is, like, I would not be as annoyed, because I'm not really mad. I would not be as annoyed with the way that the Blue Hole monetization is set up if the microtransactions were actually for things that looked cool instead of gray shoes. That's all I'm getting at. If you're gonna go with that microtransaction model, you gotta dazzle me with some M4A4 Griffins. I almost walked right into that. That actually could have been pretty devastating. Oh, Lord. Please? Well, equality's never gonna work for us here. This was not necessary, but it is basically a free room. Okay, the Spirit Heart is well worth it. Tears down, not so much. Maybe we'll get PhD and everything will become clear. Thank God for our high speed. I actually think, and you know, it's just a good example of how things can change on like the drop of a hat, basically. I think if we had like 0.9 speed, we would have lost by now. Because we have 1.7 speed, we're able to get in and out of these difficult situations, and I actually think it's making a huge difference. Well, that's not gonna help. It's not train wreck territory. I want that to be clear. Shoop the Whoop is like a train wreck. It's anathema to train wreck. You can't have train wreck and have Shoop the Whoop. It can take your run. Even if your damage is bad, Shoop the Whoop is like, well, it's not that bad. You know, once every 2 rooms are basically free. Is there a Tinted Rock here? I hate fighting these enemies. Thank you, Succubus. These guys are weak. You probably basically killed him. I'll go for it. Ah, we should not have done big room first. Classic mistake. Although we will get a Shoop the Whoop. Well, we get a Shoop the Whoop charge anyway, wouldn't we? You always want to bring Shoop the Whoop into a big room. I wonder if this charges little Chad faster. On most runs, you don't actually have to consider something of that magnitude. You know, it tends to be pretty minor. It's like, does little Chad charge up twice as fast on a big room? Who cares? You usually have like 12 Spirit Hearts by this point. Guppy, you know, oh, easiest win of all time. We're talking about like, how could Len have handled the summer of 1999 to avoid becoming a one-hit wonder? I'll tell you one thing. Coming out with Kids in America cover as your second single, that's not going to do it for you. You got to hit him with something after Steal My Sunshine that really inspires a lot of confidence. It's like Vanilla Ice following up Ice Ice Baby with the ninja rap, you know? You gotta do a little better than that. Genius. Actual genius level strats. Second secret room, maybe. You gotta check. Secret room, maybe. You gotta check. Okay, fair enough. It's like Yodel Kid. Stop trying to come out with original songs, Yodel Kid. You gotta gauge the temperature of the market. They don't want normal songs from you, okay? Maybe when you're like 17, you could be the new Justin Bieber, but for country. Come out with a song for the, you know, 2020 election. That's like your optics for now, okay? What they want right now is you to do all the Yodel classics. So you already did Lord, I Don't Know What I Do. All I Do Is Sit and Cry, oh Lord. That's good. Next, do the song from Cliffhangers on The Price is Right, you know? Yodel-ay, 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 ho-ho. I'm telling you, if you get up there with Drew Carey, that's going to be good for your business. I'm fascinated by the career of Yodel Kid. How can you not be? Like, I gotta see where this ends up. Dude's in cowboy boots and an H&M plaid button-up at Walmart. 2 months later, he's at the Walmart annual shareholders meeting in Mendocino, California. The world's your oyster. Well, we haven't made it to the chest. This would be a very good time for me to pick up anything that raises our damage. Yuck. Not even close to spun. Guppy's tail, I mean, is fine. It's not good, but it is indeed fine. I guess we gotta be sensible here. What is sensible is tricky. But we gotta, well, I was just gonna say we gotta kill Lust last, and that did not work out, so mission accomplished already. This run really snuck up on me with its badness. Yep. Terrible performance right there. That's good, though. Oh, my God. Did you... The bomb came back at me. Just play it cool. Little Chad is here to slap your troubles away. I cannot land a straight shot. Just wait for Little Horn to hit him with the science shot, Dad. I'm squinting. I got permanent squints going on right now because I'm afraid. Gotta handle the riffraff. Let Succubus get in there and do what it do. Thank you. You've done me a great service. I need that red heart, but I don't need it immediately. Watch out for creep. Great work. Alright, so that was easy. Never a doubt in my mind. Dry Baby, you are a god among familiars and never let anybody question you. Whew, you know what? I think I've decided that I was a little short-sighted to ask for anything but the D-Infinity. It turns out, the D-Infinity would have been pretty useful on this run for ensuring we didn't end up in this god-awful position. Okay, you gotta stall him. Otherwise, you're gonna have to step on creep. No step on creep. Yes. Ugh. It's like... Jar of Flies is actually good, but Shoop the Whoop... If we could hold 2 items, we'd be happy. Right now, though, you gotta be of the opinion Shoop the Whoop is what you want to roll here. More passive items, please. I'm telling you, 1 Dry Baby activation, this room is over. Fortunately, for us to get close enough for Dry Baby to get hit by a bomb, if that would even activate it, for one, but, you know, it's close enough that we would probably get hit as well. Oh, it's like Cruel Fate, dude. To be saddled with, like, all these bombs, and yet have no ability to actually land them because of the parasite. 2 things that are great by themselves, in conjunction with one another, lose a little bit of that luster. That was an incredibly lucky bomb placement. Hey. Is this the worst run we've had to the chest in, like, the last month? It might actually be. Now that was very nice. But you know when Shoop the Whoop is not even killing a little Chad, or a regular-sized Chad, I guess, that you're suffering in the damage department. I appreciate any and all spirit hearts that we've been given so far on this floor, but I'm also just, like, slowly dying on the inside that we've been stuck with 4.67 damage for this long. I don't like to be Mr. Complain, I like to be Mr. Anecdote. But you can't anecdote as hard when you're so focused on survival. This is Dry Baby's, like, inauguration. We're almost out of bombs. That is very concerning to me. I don't think this is really a run where 1 item can carry us either. Like, luckily we're, you know, guaranteed to get 2 items whenever we get 1. Hey, that's good stuff. The Halo. Starting to do something. Stay away. It does, like, you know, it seems like we're very likely to win. And Little Chad and Dry Baby are the biggest parts of that, which is hilarious. I would sacrificial alter them in a heartbeat. I have no allegiance to them whatsoever, and yet they're here being the bigger men, you know, carrying the run. I really appreciate it, in spite of the fact that I have no respect for them. But, you know, it's like, it's your 4th line grinders. Getting minutes and winning you the game here deep in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. It's not Steph Curry shooting 3-pointers. It's Vince Carter coming off the bench as the 9th man as a septuagenarian. Getting you a clutch alley-oop. Pushing the series to a 7th game. What am I talking about? See, I didn't know anything about basketball, so I tried to make it happen. And Okay, it's another Tears upgrade at least. It's a good one at that. Are you dead? Please be dead. Thank you. We got a Boneheart out of Divorce Papers as well, which for lore purposes, I don't understand, but I'll let you have it, Ed. I don't get it. Is it because you get boned when you get divorced? Not sure. Hopefully not relevant for me. Pump this. Now this is an annoying fight. I'm very tempted to get in there with my Pretty Fly. Or, you know, the aggro fly. I'm just gonna try to hang back. Let Dry Baby do most of the dirty work for me. We got 2 remaining bombs. Succubus is making big plays as well. I can't deny that. What a strange run. Defensively, very strong. Offensively, like, incredibly weak. It's like the Minnesota Wild. See, you know, if you're a hockey fan, please tell other hockey fans about these videos. You'll get 1 bit of headline analysis for every video. I promise you that. How about that Erik Karlsson? Talk about it in the next episode, I suppose. Alright. I would never, you'd have to pay me $10,000 to get me to try to do the Void here. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.